Well, I'm Noah, and I love Jesus. I'm grateful today that I have freedom from my addictions, impulses to sin, and that's not always how my life was. I grew up in a very dysfunctional home, a lot of abuse, and I had some sexual abuse from relatives at an early age. I turned to drugs and alcohol to cope with those hurts and those pains in my life, and as you expect that to turn out, it just created more problems and more broken relationships and opportunities. I remember at a very early age being self-centered in everything that I did, to the point where the only way for me to function was to get high and run around on the streets with my friends and drug dealers and multiple partners. It was Christmas time, and I was at a party and I was super intoxicated and on all types of drugs, and my family members were calling me over and over and over, and I was just forwarding their phone calls. And you know, at that moment, I was just having to comfort that shame and guilt of what I was feeling with more drugs and more alcohol. And I went that whole night, not willing to answer any of those phone calls. And the next day, when I knew that the family was gone, I snuck into that house to make sure I got my Christmas presents and cards with the money to go buy more drugs. I was self-centered and hurting and broken and lost. When the Lord finally got a hold of me, it was just an amazing experience of where I knew the love of the Father at a different level. His warm embrace just wrapped his arms around me and pulled me out of that muck and mire and placed me on a solid path and started guiding my footsteps and taking me to places that I never thought possible. He started to restore a lot of things in my life that I thought were too far gone. One of those was my relationship with my son, who I had to go 6 years without any type of relationship. And today I have opportunities to be with my son and have him out here in North Dakota with me. But it's choosing one day at a time to serve others and to seek the Lord's face from the moment I wake up. I have a beautiful family now, and I get to have a ministry that I'm really involved with where it's teaching others how to walk out this process of sanctification. If you're going through something that I've been through or struggling with something similar to my story, and you're listening to that, that's the first indicator that God's getting your attention. He has a calling for your life. I highly recommend right now you don't silence that voice of God like I did multiple times. Allow him to guide you from where you're at and surround you with a healthy community. I know for me that I needed to be around healthy people that had something that I wanted, which was freedom and joy in their life. And those people are probably sitting around you right now. And I highly recommend you reach out to them, let them know where you're at. Don't keep those things secret or suppressed. Everything in the dark will be brought to light anyways. You get to right now make a choice to bring that to the light and be healed and be freed of those addictions, of the hurt, the unforgiveness. That was a huge thing for me, is learning how to forgive the people that really hurt me in life. And I know it's a struggle, but it's totally worth it, and you're worth it.